So we're coming up to the last of the experiment rooms, which is Sector 0. You can see the full version that I play on Mighty Seawolf Long Plays. This one will be split into two parts. You're watching the first part and the second part will come along without really much of an introduction. It'll go straight into it, which we're about to do now. So the professor is telling us about a new tool that we have called the Splatts. It's a proton beam which sets splats on fire. So we've got that sitting at the top and it's connected to this button over here with a slime that's sitting on top of it. We have another button right in front of a spike trap, which when the spikes come out will send the splat up into the proton beam and bring it back down again into the spikes. That looks like the combo that'll be made there, so we're going to use that to our advantage. So we've got one mine and a one shot to work with. We want to place the one shot over here and make it so that it have it so that it sends our splat over the exit into the slime and into the bomb there. So got the Rapido coming through first. Giving us our 3-star right from the get-go. Rapido sets off the button while slipping into the bomb, and then got the spikes getting burnt and back into the spikes there. Okay, so we've got a small room, but we've got a few tools to play with here. We've got two splats coming out. We have our platform which is connected to a button that's over there, and behind the platform is a mine, and then we have a bumper and a mine sitting underneath a pit of spikes up the top there. Then we have one mine and 3 one-shots to work with. I'm going to place a mine straight underneath that mine over there. I'm going to set a bumper over here and send the splat backwards over there like that. Then I'm going to place a bumper over here and send it straight up and over into the button, and then another bumper over there to send that over into the mine. I'd either hit the mine or the bumper, either way it's going up into those spikes. So we're sending the Rapido up to the top for the spike kill. At the same time we've got the mine kill down the bottom, giving us our 3 stars. So there goes the mine to the mine. And that was after the Rapido had opened up the platform before going through a mine to spike combo. Alright, so this is a cool room. We have 2 activated proton beams already, and they shoot over the top of a couple of slimes which are on the angled platforms that leads down to a platform down the bottom. Then there's another one over there. We have 2 splats on either side of the room, and we're working with 4 mirrors down here. And that's the professor telling us that we can deflect these rays to wherever we please, being that it's in the range of deflection. So I'm going to place one laser towards the entrance over here, so that's 2 lasers there. Then I'm going to place another laser here and try and angle that out as far as possible that way, so that I have enough. I'll tweak that a little bit, bring that up some more, maybe that'll help, because we need to shoot. There's a tank that comes out, and because it takes a lot of damage, we need to angle it so that we can do as much damage as possible. Maybe if I bring that in some more. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. So right from the get-go, try and get as much headshots as possible in there as well. So you're starting off with the 2 Rapidos. And then we have the normal Splat on the left side and the tank on the right side. And we want that tank to take as much damage as possible right up to the edge, and then try and take a little more, and we get the 3 stars over there. So that's one Rapido, and then there's the second Rapido. There's the third Splat. Yeah, head damage taken given quite a bit. He's on fire, but he gets taken out by the second beam there. So for this room, we need to move that platform over there so that the harpoon can set its sight on whichever Splat jumps over the hot pit over there. We have one button that's over there that's connected to the platform. Then we have a second button over there which deactivates this harpoon over here, and that's directed into a mine that's over there. And then we have another mine over there, and we've got 3 one-shots to work with. So I'm going to place a one-shot over there, send the Splat over the top to activate that button. I'm going to place this one-shot over here and put it into the line of sight of harpoon number 2, and I'm going to place another one-shot just before it and have it pointed towards the exit over the hot pit, so that it lines up with the harpoon up the top. So we need to activate that button to move the platform. Then there goes the Rapido, and then the tank to a mine combo over there, giving us our 3 stars for that one. So there goes the Rapido, and then we've got the tank Splat taking the harpoon to mine. So for this room, you will have to pay attention to not so much the timing, but you just need to have the tools activated exactly when they need to. So we've got a button that's over there, and that activates the Proton Beam sitting up the top there. And then we've got a put of spikes just after the Splat's entrance. This Proton Beam comes all the way across, and so we need to direct it down this way and back across that way. Then we've got a hot pit and a cannon sitting at the end. We've got a cake, a stun bomb, 2 mirrors, and a bomb to work with. So for this one, I'm going to set a bomb right in the front of the entranceway of the splats. I'm going to take one mirror and place it at the end here, redirect downwards, redirect downwards. Then I'm going to take a second mirror and have it redirected straight towards platform here, and for that I'm going to place a cake right over there, and then the stun bomb right behind the cannon. So when I set that cannon off, when I set the bomb off, it'll activate the cannon. The cannon will shoot a cannonball through that channel, up and around, back down again, and there should be a splat waiting to get hit. Once it hits, it'll send it into the hot pit. So there goes the first tank. There goes the Rapido. And then we have the normal splat who will turn off the Proton Beam, finish the cake, and then I'll just wait for it to come up before I activate the bomb. Sending that ball over and the splat into the hot pit for a nice smooth 3-star there. So there goes the bomb to spike combo over there with the tank, and then we've got the proton to cake combo over here, and then we have the cannon sending that splat into the hot pit. So for this one, whilst not so difficult, it does come down to one particular action from the boulder in which to finish this stage, especially on a 3-star. If it doesn't happen, then you just need to reset over again and hope that the mechanics will just clean itself up and make the whole progression work. So we've got 5 splats to work with up the top, at the entry. We've got a boulder sitting over there, and that's sitting above a bomb. Now obviously once the boulder drops, it'll drop onto the bomb. The bomb will send it up, over and around into the fan. The fan will bring it up over into this chamber, which we need to place a bomb down there in order for the boulder to come up, around, into the bumper and send it flying down into the splats. When I said earlier that there's a specific action that needs to happen, it has to be here. So the boulder needs to hit the bomb correctly and cleanly in order to come up the top of the chamber and into the bumper. Sometimes it doesn't, and I'm not sure why, but it will eventually work. And then we've got a couple of spike pits up the top. We've got one cannon, one stun bomb and one bomb to work with. I'm going to place the cannon here and point it up towards the spikes. I'm going to place the bomb over here, and I'm going to place the stun bomb right over at the boulder. So first off, I've got the Rapido. I need for it to line up with the line of sight of the cannon so I can send that into the spikes. The second splat, once it jumps, I'll set off the stun bomb, sending the boulder down and around through the channels and reaching up to the bumper to take out all 3 of those splats. And then I have the tank, which I'll do the same again and shoot it into the spikes. which will give me my 3 stars. And all the objectives done. So there's the Rapido coming through, getting shot into the spikes. And then we have all 3 of these Splatts being taken out by the boulder. And then lastly we have the tank with the same demise as the first one, getting shot by the cannon and into the spikes. So for this one, even though it may look a little complicated and a little out of place, you do have to put your tools in the right place so that the timing comes correct when they need to be activated, but we can get through this. We've got one button that's linked to this harpoon over here, and that'll actually activate the harpoon, and that harpoon is directed into the swinging log over there. We've got a platform up the top, we've got a bomb down the bottom, and a set of spikes before the exit. Up the top here we have a boulder which is activated by that button there, and then we've got another button that deactivates the harpoon sitting up the top there. And then we have 3 mines, and so we've got 2 mines and 3 one-shots to work with. So I'm going to place a mine over here. That'll set off the boulder once it's released from up over there, comes down around, hits the button, triggers the bomb, sending the boulder up and around for any splats that are on the floor there. I'm going to place a one-shot into and face it into the line of fire of the harpoon. Then I'm going to place another one-shot just after the button here that activates the boulder, and send that splat going backwards over there. Then I'm going to set another bomb over here, so that when that platform moves it'll push the bomb down into this channel here. It'll sit here, so I'll manually activate the bomb, which will set off that bomb, which will push it into that bumper, and sending the bomb out this way to hit a splat and into the spikes. So I've got the first splat coming up and into the harpoon. Then I've got the second splat activating the boulder and then getting hit back towards the tank. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage here, so that I can set off the bomb at the end and send the last splat into the spikes, giving me my 3-star for the stage. So there goes the harpoon, and then we've got the tank and the splat getting taken out by the boulder. And then just by sheer luck he managed to survive long enough to take the bomb to spike combo. So for this one it may look a little bit busy, but that's because you've got 3 different WTDs to deal with. We've got 3 splats that come through the entrance. Up above it we have a button that's connected to the pop-up spikes over here, and over the top of that is some slime. Then we've got a slime on the middle of the second platform there. Then we have a proton beam which is connected to a button that's down over there. Then we have a third button over there that activates the pop-up spikes over there, and then we have a bumper in front of the proton beam leading into the slime on the middle platform. And then we've got 2 one-shots, 2 slimes and a conveyor belt to work with. I'm going to put the conveyor belt to the back there and have it facing towards the wall. Then I'm going to place another slime over the top of the button here like that. Then I'm going to place another slime over here above this button. I'm going to place a bumper just before that button that points into that bumper over there. And then I'm going to take this last one shot, put it after the first button, and have the splat flying up and over through the gap there. So we'll have our first splat come through, activate the beam cannon, see, we've got plenty going on over there at the moment that we end up getting our 3 stars and our three WTDs as well. So we've got the Rapido sliding into the spikes. We have the Rapido running up against the treadmill, still getting burnt by the Proton Beam. And then we have the first splat coming up over, hitting the button and into the putter spikes.